All right, diving into the world of football today. You wanted to learn about this Rúben Amorim guy, this manager making waves. To be honest, I'm more of a fan than an expert when it comes to the actual game.
Makes sense.
I love watching, but the strategy and all that, that's where I need some help.
That's why I'm here.
Exactly. So Rúben Amorim, where do we even start?
Well, I think what grabs everyone's attention first is the titles, right? He's got a cabinet full of them.
Yeah, and he's young for a manager with that kind of success.
He is just 39 years old. But look at his record already. 2 Primera Liga titles with Sporting CP.
Wow.
3 Taça da Liga wins in a row. The Supertaça Cândido de Oliveira. And he took Sporting back to the Champions League round of 16, which they hadn't seen in years.
That's impressive. So rewind a bit. Before the sidelines, he was on the pitch, right?
Exactly. Amorim was a midfielder, primarily with Belenenses, and Benfica had a good career.
Okay.
10 major titles with Benfica alone. 3 league titles, Taça de Portugal, even represented Portugal in 2 World Cups.
See, that's the stuff I know, the player side. But how did he become the manager? That jump isn't always easy.
It's a cool story, actually. He didn't just jump to the top. Started small, Casa Pia, then Braga B, coaching there. Early on, even got in a little trouble, the Portuguese Football Federation suspended him for a bit.
Oh, why?
He was giving instructions from the sidelines, but didn't have the proper coaching license yet.
Eager beaver, huh?
Yeah, you could say that.
So Braga's first team, that was his big break then.
Definitely a stepping stone. They were struggling 8th place in the league when he took over, but in just a few months led them to victory in the Taça da Liga.
Hold on, 8th place to a championship that fast.
Yep, really put him on the map manager-wise.
Makes sense why Sporting CP paid so much to get him. Record-breaking fee, wasn't it?
It was a whopping 10 million euros, 3rd most expensive managerial transfer ever. And this was with only 2 months of top-flight management under his belt.
Sporting must seen something special. So, instant success over there, too. Just kept winning.
First season, kind of mixed bag, to be honest. He started to mold the team, though. You could see his style coming through. But it was the 2020-21 season that really blew up.
Okay, let's hear about this blowing up. What happened?
Well, some smart summer transfers brought in guys like Pedro Porro and Paulinho, promoted young talents like Nuno Mendes and Gonçalo Inácio, too, and then boom, a 32-match unbeaten streak in the league. Incredible run, ended with them winning the Primera Liga for the first time in 19 years.
32 games undefeated. That's not luck, that's a well-coached team. League title, ending a drought. What do you do next? Take a vacation?
Not at all. Next season, another Taça da Liga win. This time, beat his old team Braga in the final.
Ooh, some extra satisfaction there.
There were even reports of a heated argument between Amorim and Braga's manager, Carlos Carvajal, during the match.
Adds to the drama. So, trophies piling up, some rivalries brewing. What else did he do? Keep winning?
Well, he kept adding to that trophy cabinet, for sure. A Supertaça Cândido de Oliveira win. Took Sporting to the Champions League round of 16, first time since the 2008-09 season for them. Became the fastest manager to 50 Primera Liga wins. And get this, led Sporting to their first victory at Estádio da Luz, Benfica's home turf, in 6 years.
So it's like Rúben Amorim arrives, trophies follow. It's uncanny. Was there anything he couldn't do at that point?
Well, the 2022-23 season did bring some bumps in the road. He lost 2 key midfielders, Juan Polina and Matheus Nunes. Big losses. Both went to Premier League clubs, and that impacted Sporting's performance in the league that year.
Makes sense, losing your star players. But didn't they have a pretty good run in the Europa League that season despite that?
They did. Surprisingly good. It showed his adaptability, kept the team motivated even when things were tough. They even beat Arsenal, which is huge. Really highlighted his leadership.
So even a down season, he's pulling off wins. Did he bounce back after that?
Oh, absolutely. Steered Sporting to their 2nd Primera Liga title under his management, put any doubts to rest. But what's really interesting now is how his coaching style seems to be evolving this current season.
Evolving? How so? I'm intrigued.
He's moved towards a more possession-based style, focus on intricate passing, keeping control of the game. It's different from his earlier style, which was more, pragmatic. Quick transitions, direct attacks, that sort of thing.
So he's not afraid to change things up, try new approaches.
Yep.
Is it working?
The results look pretty good, leading the league in goals scored, lowest goals conceded, unbeaten in the Champions League group stage 2. And get this, some people are even mentioning him as a possible replacement for Pep Guardiola at Manchester City one day.
Wow, okay, and that's high praise. All right, I'm sold. Rúben Amorim is the real deal. But what is it specifically? What makes him stand out?
It's a lot of things, really. Tactically, he's sharp. analyses opponents, figures out their weaknesses, and exploits them. We've seen it with his focus on high pressing, for example. And he's adaptable, can change formations, strategies, depending on what he's up against.
So not just sticking to one playbook. He's thinking, reacting to the other team.
Exactly. But it's not just tactics. He's also a great communicator, really motivates his players. He's known for being calm, giving his players confidence, even under pressure. A lot of managers, they are shouting, emotional on the sidelines. Not him.
That's true. A lot of them are pretty demonstrative. He's more reserved.
He is. And it works for him. His players respect him, trust his decisions, play hard for him. And one more thing that always stands out to me, he never gets into public arguments with referees.
I've noticed that. So many managers complaining about calls, he just doesn't.
Nope. Focuses on what he can control, his team. I think it's part of his personality. Very pragmatic, level-headed. Arguing with the ref won't change the result. It's kind of refreshing.
That pragmatism, it ties into his playing style, too. I remember reading an article that described it as clearly pragmatic. And it clicked for me then. He's not about flashy plays or showing off. He's about results, whatever it takes to win.
You got it. Style points don't matter as much to him. He builds strong teams, everyone working together.
A quiet confidence, almost.
Yeah.
The team believes in him, he believes in them. Okay, so tactical flexibility, strong leadership, this pragmatic approach, anything else we can learn from him? Maybe stuff that goes beyond football.
I think one of the biggest takeaways is the importance of constantly adapting, always learning. He's not afraid to tweak his tactics, try new formations, adjust to new challenges. That applies anywhere, not just sports.
So true. It's easy to get stuck in old ways, even when they stop working.
Yeah.
Showing us, stay flexible, be open to new ideas.
Exactly. And his leadership, too. It's a good lesson for anyone in a leadership role. Build strong relationships, create a positive environment, lead by example, stay calm under pressure, trust your people, avoid negativity.
A much different approach than the my way or the highway type of leadership you see sometimes.
Right. He's more about empowering people, making it a team effort.
And he's not afraid to admit when he's wrong, to learn from his mistakes.
Not at all. He's open about still learning as a manager, always looking for ways to improve.
Okay, we've covered a lot. His journey, tactics, leadership, personality. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of how his teams actually play. Break down some key elements.
Sure thing. One of his signature moves is high pressing.
Now, for those of us who aren't football experts, what exactly does that mean?
It's all about winning the ball back quickly, as high up the field as possible. Instead of waiting for the other team to mess up, they attack the player with the ball, forcing errors. Takes a lot of fitness, and everyone needs to be on the same page tactically.
So proactive, aggressive, trying to disrupt the other team before they even get going. Does this work with any formation, or does he need specific players for it?
It definitely helps to have a formation that can switch between attack and defense smoothly. Amorim often uses a 3-4-3 formation, gives him a solid defense with 3 center backs, but also lets the wing backs get up the field to both press and attack.
Okay, here's where I need you to break it down for me. What, this 3-4-3 thing, why is it so good for his style?
Picture it like this. 3 center backs at the back, like a triangle. They provide cover, stability. Then you have 2 wide midfielders, the wing backs. They can go forward and join the attack. 2 central midfielders control the pace, link the defense and the attack. And up front, 3 forwards ready to score.
All right, starting to get the visual. Balanced formation, good for defense and offense. But where does the high pressing come in?
The wing backs are key to the press. When the opponent has the ball in their own half, the wing backs charge forward, join the 3 forwards to pressure the guy with the ball. Central midfielders move up too, cutting off passing lanes, supporting the press.
So the whole team's involved, not just the guys up front. Sounds tiring.
It is us. You need incredibly fit players to keep that intensity for a whole game. But when it works, it's chaos for the other team. They're always under pressure, making mistakes, struggling to even get an attack going.
And that's where Amorim shines. Gets his players to buy into this, work together like a machine. But what happens when they get the ball back? How do they go from defense to offense so fast?
That's where the fluidity comes in, quick passing. Amorim's teams are known for their transitions. Win the ball, boom, moving it upfield, creating chances before the other team can even react.
Not just about winning it back, but punishing the opponent for losing it.
Exactly. Relentless pressing, fast transitions, smooth attacks. It's exciting to watch and a nightmare to play against.
Okay, high pressing, fast transitions. Anything else tactically that he's known for?
He loves to attack from the wings, encourages his wingbacks to push up, get those crosses into the box. His forwards are great at making runs into dangerous areas, too.
Attacking from multiple angles. Makes it harder to defend.
You got it. And his players are always swapping positions, confusing the defenders even more.
So he's got this system that's organized, but also has room for improvisation.
That's a good way to put it. A framework, but he trusts his players to make decisions on the fly.
The best of both worlds. Tactical instructions, but freedom for the players too. Makes sense. So we've talked a lot about on-the-field stuff, but what's he like off the field as a person?
Everyone says he's very down-to-earth, easy to talk to. Even with all the success, he hasn't let it go to his head. Good sense of humor, too.
Not your typical grumpy football manager, then.
Nope, not at all. Seems very genuine. And here's a fun fact. He's married to an interior designer, Maria João Diogo. They got married in a palace in Coimbra. Oh, and his wife is also the sister-in-law of Antero Henrique, who used to be the sporting director of Paris Saint-Germain.
Small world, especially in football.
Yeah.
It's really amazing, everything he's accomplished. And he's still so young.
Right. Only 39. Who knows what's next for him?
I think it's safe to say we'll all be watching. Wow, we've covered so much about Rúben Amorim, from his playing days to all those titles, his tactics, even a bit about his life off the pitch.
It's been quite a journey, and honestly, we've just scratched the surface of what makes him so fascinating in the world of football.
Before we wrap up, let's try and summarize. What are the biggest takeaways about Rúben Amorim? What have we learned today?
His story is a great example of hard work and dedication. You know, he didn't just get lucky. He put in the time, both as a player and a manager.
And he's not just coasting on past success. He's always looking for ways to improve, changing tactics, pushing himself. That's got to be inspiring no matter what you do in life.
Definitely. He's showing that success isn't about sticking to one plan. It's about adapting, trying new things. And his leadership, that's another big takeaway. Calm, collected, collaborative. Even under pressure, he stays level-headed, builds trust with his players, creates a really positive environment.
It's so different from some of those, well, more intense managers we see out there.
Right. He's showing that you can be successful without all the drama, all the yelling. It's about empowering your team, treating everyone with respect.
And he's not afraid to admit when he's wrong, or that he's still learning.
Exactly. That humility is important. He knows he can always get better.
So we've got the incredible journey, the smart tactics, the leadership, the humility. Anything else we should add to the list of what makes Rúben Amorim special?
His story shows us that success doesn't happen overnight. There will be tough times, things to overcome. But if you keep going, you stay flexible, believe in yourself, you can do amazing things.
Well said. It's been awesome exploring the world of Rúben Amorim with you. Learned a lot about football, but also about leadership, about reaching your full potential.
I had a great time, too. These deep dives are always so interesting, seeing how people are changing the game.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us. Keep an eye on Rúben Amorim. He's one to watch. His journey is far from over, that's for sure.